This is the life that people yearn for. In order to have a castle of his own, the man bought a castle with 100 years of history with just one sack of banknotes. In the next 2.5 years, he invested a lot of time and energy and transformed this ancient castle into an enviable dream home. Today, with the damage of the third floor, Danny plans to repair the roof. However, due to the recent rainy weather, he doesn't want his hard work to be in vain. So before the repair, Danny first temporarily covers the roof with a waterproof cloth to ensure safety and prevent further damage to the castle. After completing the initial protection of the roof, Danny moved to the second floor to prepare to lay the remaining floors. In comparison, he is now very proficient. In order to ensure that the wooden boards and beams can fit closely, he fixes each connection with glue and then supports it with screws. The double protection makes the floor as solid as a rock. After completing all the floors on the second floor, Danny's attention was focused on the old channel steel in the middle of the floor. Due to years of wind and rain, these channel steels have begun to rust, but it is not a problem for Danny. He used a grinding machine to clean the surface of the channel steel and then painted a layer of anti-rust paint. Instantly, the channel steel was renewed and its service life was greatly extended. Next, Danny continues to carry materials from the car and is ready to officially start roof repair. He first carefully handles the aging channel steel and then starts to demolish the abandoned brick wall. These bricks have long been so aged that they are vulnerable. With a light touch, they crumble into pieces. After simply cleaning up the ruins on the roof, Danny prepares for the next step to deal with an iron water tank from last century. For modern times, this water tank has no practical value anymore. He resolutely dismantles it into pieces. As one work progresses, there are only a few aged floors left on the roof. For safety reasons, Danny decides not to keep these things and demolishes them all with a hammer. Looking at the speed of fragmentation, one has to admire Danny's courage. After demolishing the bricks, Danny realizes that the channel steel on the roof has also completely aged. Risking collapse, he resolutely decides to remove the channel steel on the entire roof. After completing the work, early the next morning, Danny bought many bricks and was ready to start the roof repair work. Since the entire castle renovation project depends on him alone, he humorously mocks himself. It is expected that I can see the castle in Manhattan before I am 80 years old. When the weather is so sultry that it is unbearable, Danny decides to suspend bricklaying and instead clean up the ruins of the rooms on the second floor to make room for future renovations. He also incidentally cleaned the bathtub in the bathroom on the second floor. This bathtub is 100 years old and is actually the only usable item in the entire castle. After cleaning the bathtub, Danny immediately lies in it. Although there is no water in the bathtub yet, he has already begun to fantasize about the future, soaking in his own bathtub, listening to music and enjoying life. Although it is still just a dream now, I believe that as long as Danny persists, one day he will be able to live in that dream castle of his own.